This next part of the presentation uses photographs from my family tree. And this picture we found when we were cleaning out the farmhouse a couple years ago. And but I recognized the barn where the location was in the neighborhood, but I didn't know who any of the gentlemen were. So fortunately, Wayne Ziller Jr. is still in the area, and I took this old photograph down to him, and he took one look at it, and he asked his wife Ethel to go find their copy. And she brought it back in a few minutes, and he smiled and he says, "Everything you want to know is on the back of our copy." And here on the back was written down all the names of the men and boys that were in the picture. And then Wayne said, "By the way, Dale, the first gentleman in the picture on the left is your grandfather, Clarence Francis Maley." And at that point, I'd never seen a photograph of my grandfather because he had died long before I was born. And I was able to take all the names down, so I'm just going to read the names off. This was taken July 26, 1941, steam engine and threshing scene at the John Law Farm in Lodemia, out north of Fairbury. The rig owner was Dallas Morris, and then standing from left to right are Clarence Francis Maley, Roy Friant, Sheldon Tucker, Raymond Tavner, Frank Masterson, Bud Wink, Monroe Garland, Wayne Ziller Sr., and Wayne Ziller Jr., John Law, Clarence Friant, Walter Askew, the unknown water boy, and Lon Britt. On the left hayrack is Eldon Askew, and on the right hayrack is Ed Snyder. Frank Webster's up in the barn. While I was discussing this photograph with Wayne Ziller Jr., he was able to identify 3 other people in the photograph, leaving only one unknown, and the only unknown person is the water boy, shown on the right here, holding a glass jug of water. If you happen to know who the water boy is, please let me know. He's the only unidentified person. This is a rather unique family picture. It was done about 1903, and there was no color photography then, but it is in color. And it's a 1903 picture of my grandmother, Beulah Cornwell Dameron, and her sister, Emily Cornwell, which is my grandmother and her sister. I believe that this was hand colored. Probably a lady did this. And I guess this was common clear up until the 1960s. Some of the Fairbury High School yearbooks were actually hand colored by ladies until the advent of color photography. I had to have this picture restored down in Bloomington because it looked like the girls had freckles on the original picture. But nowadays with digital repair, you can go in and actually remove all those blemishes, and it really came out a beautiful picture. This is a photograph about 1909 of my grandfather, Harold Dameron, and he's the young man holding the pony, or small horse. And then his parents were Jasper and Emma Jane Dameron, and they're out for a ride. And when my mother looked at this photograph, she kind of made the conclusion, you know what, my father, or my grandfather, was probably spoiled. Harold was an only child, and you can see here he's got his own horse here in the picture. It's a very unique photograph. They also like dogs, so you can see Emma Jane holding a dog in her lap.